Live from the NYX Professional Makeup Sound Studio.
Hey, yo, what's going on? I'm Josh Martinez inside of our NYX Professional Makeup Sound Studio with our guest, Izzy Escobar.
Too many hours lead to too many years, and I'm losing time of my own. Past, future, present, I think I'll regret it if I start to call you my own. It's a dangerous place, need a saving grace. You were perfect up till today. When I brought it up, you punched the air. Your ego came out to play. So take your shit, don't come back, through your stuff in a bag and left it downstairs. Take your key off the hook, I've got nothing to say. Give it all one last look, kiss my kitchen goodbye. Pass the bottles from that night, you couldn't swallow your damn pride. I guess that it's fine, but you won't forget these eyes. You won't forget these eyes. Too many lies, oh, you're leaving me tied, and I feel it deep in my bones. You think it hurts, but when I'm alone, I've got a heart of stone. It's a dangerous place, need a saving grace. You were perfect out till the day. When I brought it up, you punched the air. Your ego came out to play. So take your shit, don't come back, through your stuff in a bag and left it downstairs. Take your key off the hook, I've got nothing to say. Give it all one last look, kiss my kitchen goodbye. Pass the bottles from the night, you couldn't swallow your damn pride. I guess that it's fine, but you won't forget these eyes. You won't forget these eyes. Thank you. This next song, I have to say, is probably my favorite song off of my debut EP that I just released. And I was going into the studio every day, and I was writing about so many powerful emotions like betrayal and heartbreak. And I just remember going to the studio one day and being like, I cannot write another song about heartbreak. I do not have it in me. And it was the first time, it was really the turning point where I asked myself, well, what does my life look like after the heartbreak? What does my dream love life look like? And what does my dream life look like? And then I came to an even more interesting realization, which was that I first had to become the woman I have always aspired to be in order to attract that love into my life. So this is what I like to call a double-edged love song. And it's called Miss Jackie O, which is a woman I've always aspired to be like. You got a real hot ride on the Upper East Side. You look just like a Kennedy up against your leather seat, dressed to the nines in your suit and tie. Watch me as you're slowing down. You and me could own this town. Baby, I'm your debutante while you're playing nonchalant. So light me like a cigarette, smoke me up and never gone. 'Cause oh, I could be a Jackie, first lady, sitting here waiting for you to take me by the hand, whisper that you'll understand. I could be at your side on a one-way drive, dipped in pearls and diamond rings. The way you speak is poetry, 'cause I could be a debutante while you're playing nonchalant. Oh, 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 I could be a jockey. Oh, 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 you could be my rolling stone. You could be the endless sea. Be the only name I know. Like, oh, oh, I could be a jockey, oh. And I'm slamming on the keys, playing out the scenes, you and me, straight out of the 60s. I feel it, the summer breeze, out on the balcony, golden hearts inside and seas. I could be a jockey, oh, 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 and oh, oh, you could be my rolling stone. You could be the endless sea, oh, be the only name I know, the tattoo that I'll never show. We could turn the White House to a home, like, oh, 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 'cause I'll be your Jackie, oh, 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 'cause I'll be your Jackie, oh. Thank you. This last piece was a song that I had written about one of the emotions I found was the hardest to work through, which was the emotion of betrayal. This song is called Vendetta. Your name started with a V. Should have seen it as a sign that you were his vendetta and he was never mine. Said you two were friends, made me apologize while she laid in your bed and you lived in my mind. And it had me run around, acting crazy. But you will never replace me. She's got my eyes, my hair, the same zip code. She's got my skin, my man, the same damn clothes. She took this house of ours, made it her home, but the walls are haunted by my ghost. She's got my lips, my ways, the perfect smile. She likes to leave a trace on record style, never told a single soul. Just buried it deep and called myself Jane. No, like no. Buried it deep and called myself. Were you gonna tell me before it all came crashing down? Were you gonna hold me before you let me hit the ground? Overthinking, thinking you were mine, thinking things were fine, and it had me run around, acting crazy. But you will never replace me. She's got my eyes, my hair, the same zip code. She's got my skin, my man, the same damn clothes. She took this house of ours, made it her home, but the walls are haunted by my ghost. She's got my lips, my ways, always the perfect smile. She likes to leave a trace, home record style, never told a single soul. Just buried it deep and called myself Jane Doe. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, no. I was your baby, but now I'm just Jane Doe. No, Jane Doe. Oh no, no. I was your baby, but now I'm just Jane Doe. No, she's got my eyes, my hair, the same zip code. She's got my skin, my man, the same damn clothes. She took this house of ours, made it her home, but the walls are haunted by my ghost. She's got my lips, my waist, the perfect smile. She likes to leave a trace, home record style, never told a single soul. Just buried it deep and called myself Jane Doe. Thank you.
Hey, yo, what up? I'm Josh Martinez inside of our NYX Professional Makeup Sound Studio. Once again, show some love to Izzy Escobar.
Thank you.
So, first things first, where are you from originally?
From Massachusetts.
See, if you're any semblance of like a New York sports fan, you immediately are like, ugh.
I know.
It's a lot of beef between New York and anything New England based.
It is. That's why I don't bring up sports.
Because then you have degenerates like me that are like, I automatically don't like her. She's
I
not.
know.
But you just performed 3 songs for us, which thank you again for that.
Yes.
Into the Jackie O song, you mentioned kind of you didn't want to do certain lyrics or messages anymore about heartache, heartbreak, etc. When going into a songwriting session, do you find yourself pulling back because you don't want to have people know too much about what you're feeling in that moment?
Definitely not. I feel like when I'm writing music, it's genuinely coming from a place of my own form of self-expression. And since I was a kid, I always found my outlet as music. So whatever emotion I was dealing with, and, you know, especially when you're younger and you're discovering all these, you know, emotions at once, you're kind of like, where do I put it? And some of my friends were into sports and some of my friends were into, you know, painting and different things. And mine was always playing violin or sitting at the keys and writing about it. And so I don't really think about the output as much as I do of a release, an emotional release when I'm writing.
So into the song Vendetta seems very personal.
Just a little.
This is very personal. Was that a situation where that was done in one session, or was that a bunch of notes and feelings over time, and then you kind of put the song together slowly?
Totally. Actually, yeah, this song was about a situation that had happened to me about like 2-3 years ago. And you know when a situation is so brutal that you just cannot get yourself to talk about it and you just keep swallowing it down and swallowing it down?
Story of my life, but
yeah.
Yes.
And so I was doing that, and then I remember like 2 years had passed, and I sat down on my keyboard one day and I was like, you know what? I think I'm finally ready to release this and just like get this out of my system. I kind of stomached it and just said, I'm fine, you know, it's okay. But it really wasn't. And I hadn't really had a voice in the situation. And I actually sat down on my keys and I wrote this song through the act of freestyling. So I had these like tidbits obviously over the years that had accumulated, like, you know, this girl kind of like looked like me. She had my eyes. We were in the same, you know, zip code, all these things.
That line, that first time I heard the song and I heard that line, I was like, bugging, dog. Like, that is too close for proximity for my liking.
Yeah, no, it was for me too. And so, so I sat down on my keys when I was living in LA in my bedroom, and I wrote this song and I was recording myself. And I posted it online, not thinking much of it. And I started to see, oh, wow, you know, other people have experienced this. And maybe it's something that, you know, it's not a very glamorous thing to discuss, but people are resonating to this. And I leaned into that. I didn't release the song until a year later.
Were you nervous about releasing a song so personal and so hyper specific to your life and using, you know, the words like zip code and, you know, stuff like that?
Ironically, no. But what I was really I wanted to be really sure that the song was produced right, because when I wrote the song from my room, you know, it was just me and the keys, and I wanted to keep it having that same like raw and honest feel without it being taken into this, you know, huge overproduced situation. And that was one of the main reasons why I actually moved to New York City. I produced this with Greg Wattenberg, and we did it all live with some of the best jazz musicians in New York City. So like Jerry Barnes from Chic is on bass in that song. You know, John Lampley plays horns, and we cut the whole thing like old school live here in New York City. And I feel like you can really feel that when you listen to the record, and it stays true to the authenticity that I wanted within it. So that part was, I think, why it took the record so long to come out after I had written it from my bedroom.
So when it comes to putting together your music and using a song like Vendetta, for example, who do you go to when it comes to like, hey, listen to this raw music song I made? Like, who's part of your inner circle to give you legitimate feedback of like, this is really good, maybe a little too personal, whatever?
Totally. I would actually say nowadays a really amazing thing is to be able to post something and get, you know, real time, real human, you know, reactions from it. Like, this person is resonating to the song, and I never thought they would, but I wouldn't have known that if I didn't post it. And obviously it's a bit, you know, vulnerable when you're posting something that's very imperfect, and it's literally just me in my bedroom, like just drank a cup of coffee, you know, freestyling on my keys. And sometimes they don't, you know, it doesn't resonate with that many people, but then on the off chance it does. And then I like to lean into what people are resonating to, and then maybe I'll go ahead and produce the record out fully.
So has there been anybody to show you love in the DMs where you're like, wait, this person is showing me love or giving me credit or doing anything that you're like, wait, I got to tap that, make sure that's the legitimate verified profile? Like, who's given you that type of love so far?
Yeah, it's been a very crazy journey, and especially recently. I will say that speaking of like iHeart, I recently got to meet with Ryan Seacrest, who, you know, being from Massachusetts, on the radio on the way to school, you know, he's like on the radio, and, you know, here I am in the back seat of the car. And when I had met him, because I worked with the Ryan Seacrest Foundation, which is amazing what they do for children, and he was like, I love Jackie O. And I was like, there's no way that Ryan Seacrest is like this right now. And also just, you know, starting to be in the festival circuit. And, you know, when I'm at the studio, I'm you know, I've become close with the guys from OAR and Mark Roberge, and they had me open for them and had me do their festival recently in Maryland. So, I mean, these are people that I grew up listening to. So I will say, from a musician, like in a musical standpoint, it's been, yeah, very, very full circle.
So you mentioned doing the festival circuit, which is you and, you know, almost a dozen other artists in one day. But this Monday night, it's your show, your largest yet, I believe, right? At Baby's All Right in Brooklyn. What are your nerves going into a performance like this?
Wow, great question. It was so funny, and I'm laughing because in high school, my choir teacher would always say, "You're not nervous, you're excited," whenever you feel those nerves.
Which is actually really good advice.
Yeah,
by the way.
it is. So I always try to say, like, I'm excited, you know, even when I'm nervous. But I think it's more so in making sure that musically everything is locked in. Like, the nerves come more from like an anticipatory stage of when you're rehearsing with the band, making sure, you know, the bass has his part, the drummer is doing his job, the keys, maybe we're going to add something different that's not in the actual produced track, but I want to jump over to the keys. Like for this specific show, I'm actually doing like a key duet with the key player, and we're gonna go crazy on it. I'm really excited. So that's something that's not in these produced out records. So I have to sit with myself and be like, what's the arrangement? So more so from an arrangement standpoint, I would say.
So you played violin for how many years growing up?
I started when I was 4.
So, and then I don't want to say stop, but when did you start to like slow down a bit?
Yeah, after high school, I was like, I was in my orchestra, and that was amazing. We had such a great music program, which I'm very grateful for. And somewhere along the lines, I actually don't even know where it was. It was like violin gave me such a good understanding for pitch and rhythm and sight reading that I gravitated towards the keys, but I never have taken a piano lesson. Like I heard the keys and I really resonated with it. And I would just play for hours and teach myself. But the violin definitely helped me with that. So I think over time I realized keys was better to write with.
So for obvious reasons, it's tough to perform vocally with a violin on your chin and your neck and shoulder. But have you thought about incorporating the violin portion of your skills in a live performance somehow?
Ooh. Yeah, I think the time could definitely come. For when I was producing this EP, I will say, like, I either start off with keys or strings. Like, I'm so attracted to grand strings, you know, cello and bass and violin. Like, I have strings in almost all of my songs.
So when it comes to because I've always been fascinated by the violin. I think it's one of the like dopest instruments ever, and I am such a sucker for anything involving a violin. So I'm just being really selfish when I'm like, yo, try to incorporate it. Maybe give yourself a minute to do some number for yourself.
Yeah,
dog.
yeah. Let me practice a bit. And
There
I'll
you
get
go.
back to you.
Well, it's not like a bike. You're gonna need to practice it. You're not just gonna grab it in the corner and be like, all right, I got this tune, and be Beethoven or something. I know he didn't play the
It's okay. I feel you.
violin. It's the
We love Beethoven. It doesn't matter.
It's the only classical name I know. Cut me some slack. Oh, you mentioned your EP, right?
Yes.
That's out. What is your favorite song to perform from that EP?
It depends on the night, and the crowd's energy. But usually my favorite song to perform is either Jackie O or Vendetta. Jackie O, coming from a standpoint of it's such a loving song, and I can feel the love. I can feel the love, you know, in a live setting. Vendetta, because wow, like I want everyone to leave my concerts feeling empowered. Like, I want them to walk out the door and just feel like they can be the best version of themselves. They can leave the relationship that they don't want to be in. They can be, their most authentic version. And whenever I'm singing that song, I can feel the energy, like the fire behind those lyrics, and the pain and the joy and everything in between that leaves people feeling that way. So that one for sure.
Do you have a favorite song to cover?
So, great question. I don't, but I do like to pick different songs every single performance. So, for example, the show I played in London, like, I picked, you know, songs that were all from the UK. And then for the show in New York, I wanted to lean more into, you know, my jazzy, soulful side. So you'll have to see what I'm doing for my cover there.
Which is Monday night. Baby's all right. I'm just always fascinated because, like, especially you have a very unique voice, and it's always fascinating to see how artists cover a song but then make it their own while still staying true to that particular cover. So with someone with such a unique voice that you have, to me, it's like, is it easier for you to cover a song and make it your own, or is it more challenging?
I think as long as you connect with the song lyrically, you're good to go. I think where there's a mismatch is, like, if I don't resonate with the song and I'm singing it, I think it can sound like you're putting on, you know, like a certain front over it. But as long as you have some sort of through line connection, I just think it hits. Like, any artist that connects with the song, you can feel that. So I usually base it off of that. So
you have about millions of streams on Vendetta alone. What is a bit of advice that you have for someone who's trying to just break into the music scene right now in 2025 as we go into 2026 as well? I'm not sure I'm the best for advice, but I would say that, you know, I spend so much time going in a realm that was, like, very overproduced, or listening to others and asking others where I fit in. Like, asking, well, how do you see me? What sound should I be doing? And trying to fit in this box of genre. Like, oh, you should be Latin music, or pop music, or this and this and this. And it drove me to a point of, ironically enough, going back to the basics, which was me in my bedroom in LA with just the keyboard again, where I started since I was a kid. And it was like all those years in between I had strayed away, only to come back to who I really most authentically feel, which is just me and my piano. And so I think leaning into that, like, where do you feel like your most authentic self, is the best place to start, because you are you, and that's what's going to make you stand out. What can we expect from you for 2026 and beyond? You can expect a lot of new music and a lot more performances that I cannot quite reveal yet. But the new music is something I'm very excited for. Well, we're excited to see what you have next up your sleeves as well. One more time, Izzy Escobar. Thank you.
To see more videos like this, check out iHeart.com/NYX Cosmetics. And if you're posting on social, use the hashtag iHeartNYX Cosmetics.
This is NYX Professional Makeup.